Well, there's a scientific study where they took AI and they got people to sit down on what's called an 8-bit GPT, and they put him on an old, obsolete Mac operating system. Why would they do this? Well, first of all, let's just have a look at this. So here it is. It's a conversation on the main emulator program. Let me zoom in on that. So here you go. You guys remember this? Is it bringing back some fifis? Is it bringing back some feelings? You guys remember that? I remember this. And there's chat LLM in the back. And the robot is saying, I've got a 68,000 processor, 1 megabyte of RAM, and a 40 megabyte hard drive. And look at the conversation. Are you aware of your training? You sound like you're trying to fit in. Oh man, you got me. I'm just trying to vibe with the cool cats around here. Know what I mean? Right? Yeah. So they put it in this thing. Now, why would they do this? What they found was when they put humans in front of this thing. Okay. So have a look at that. Look at that puppy. Look at this thing. Ah, this takes me back. So when they sat a human down and they took GPT, okay, 8-bit GPT, and they played around with it, humans who entered the study came in thinking of AI in anthropomorphic terms. So they asked the human beings who participated in this study, hey, do you feel like there is X, Y, or Z sentiment in AI? And they specifically asked the question with anthropomorphic terms built in. And most of the humans who participated said yes, which means that the humans who participated felt like or applied anthropomorphic terms to AI. Well, after sitting down with this thing and playing around with 8-bit GPT on this thing, the limitation of the system and primarily the friction around the UI and its capabilities. So you can see like some of the conversations are not quite, they're still not bad. Like if you're comparing them to what we get today, they're pretty comparable. But it had to do more with the UI. It had to do more with the actual system itself, with the hardware, looking at that old machine, using that old mouse. Let me go back up to the picture. I'm not kidding. That's what this study showed. That friction changed and altered their perception of what AI is. And they walked away, taking away the anthropomorphic viewpoints of AI. So they felt less anthropomorphic about AI. They felt like it was more of a machine, more of an automated robot. That was the outcome of putting humans on this thing and making them interact with AI in this thing. So it literally had to do with like I don't know, this was super interesting because it had to do with, I'm not exactly sure how to describe it, but it's like the medium helped to shape the perception of the thing. Does that make sense? I hope I'm explaining this correctly. So it would be like using a rotary phone. I don't even think that's a good example versus using, your cell phone. There's something about the medium upon which you use the thing that shapes your perception of the thing. And you could have the exact same functionality, right? A cell phone will make a phone call just like a rotary phone will make a phone. But there's something about the medium of a rotary phone. You put your finger in the hole, you sick degens, don't clip this. You put the finger in the hole and you slide, right? You take this thing and you touch a screen. You're making a call, but the way that you've interacted with the phone call might shape your perception of how you deal with a phone call. So that's what this study kind of showed. The walk in thinking, oh, AI reasons and it thinks and so on, and it's got enter anthropomorphic terms here, and they agreed with all of them in the entry questionnaire. Then they use this medium, put in the floppy disk, use this user interface. They found it to be a little bit annoying. They literally said that. They said it's a little bit annoying to use the user interface. It's slow. It wasn't very responsive. I had to like click here and there. It was not clear what I have to click, yada yada yada. And that interaction, the medium altered their perception of AI is absolutely interesting study. I felt like I had to cover this. And I have a feeling that there's more to scratch under the surface here, with some of the arguments that I've been making. I don't know what it is yet because I only read this one last week, and I'm like, man, I really want to cover this. This is super interesting. It's very nerdy. Okay, it's a very nerdy thing, but so here's another example. All right, I did cover a study. No, not a study. It was like an article that had a bunch of other studies in it. In the military, a few things have happened. There was an accidental shoot down, I believe, of a plane because the software that was being used altered the perception of the operator as to what the plane in front of them was, whether it was enemy or friendly, something like that. There was another one where someone was piloting a carrier, like an actual carrier at sea, and they removed the steering wheel, like the physical steering wheel, and they turned it into a digital version where you push buttons, I guess. It didn't show. But as a result of losing the steering wheel, the medium change, it made it so that they couldn't feel the sense of like the waves of the ocean smashing up against the ship, a little bit of friction left or right or whatever, and the carrier crashed, and I believe some people lost their lives. So the medium has a huge impact on how you use software or how hardware is implemented in the way that you use technology. It's absolutely crazy.